unusual. Certain names appeared more than once. Certain thoughts returned to your mind without explanation. You noticed these things, but you did not yet understand what they meant. Now a hidden truth is beginning to come into the light. There is a person connected to your story whose presence has been growing stronger behind the scenes. You may not know their identity yet. You may not even realize how close their energy has come to your path. But something important is happening. Something that cannot remain hidden forever. Do not skip. Because what comes next may explain many things that have confused you. There have been moments when you felt as if someone was watching your progress from a distance. Not in a negative way. Not in a way that should create fear. But in a way that suggested curiosity. Interest. Attention. Observation. While you continued living your life, focusing on your responsibilities, carrying your hopes, and moving through your days, someone else was quietly paying attention. The surprising part is that this person did not expect to become interested in your journey. It happened gradually. At first they noticed something small. Then they noticed something else. Then another detail. Then another. And before they realized it, their attention kept returning to you. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Many people assume that the biggest changes arrive with noise and announcements. Yet the greatest shifts often begin in silence. They begin when someone starts seeing what others overlook. They begin when someone recognizes qualities that have remained hidden from the crowd. This person noticed something unique about you. Not your appearance. Not your status. Not your possessions. Not the things people usually chase. What captured their attention was something much deeper. It was the way you continued moving forward when nobody applauded you. It was the way you kept your kindness when circumstances became difficult. It was the way you remained genuine even when pretending would have been easier. Those qualities created an impact that was stronger than you realize. Do not skip. Because this is where the story becomes even more surprising. There was a moment recently when this person reached a crossroads. A moment when they had to decide whether to continue ignoring what they felt or finally acknowledge it. At first they tried to dismiss it. They told themselves it was nothing. They convinced themselves they were imagining things. They tried to focus elsewhere. But every attempt brought them back to the same realization. You remained in their thoughts. Again and again. And that realization changed everything. What makes this situation extraordinary is that they themselves do not fully understand why this connection feels different. They cannot explain it logically. They cannot describe it perfectly. Yet something keeps drawing their attention back. Something keeps reminding them of you. Something keeps encouraging them to look again. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another detail that must be revealed. This person recently learned something important. A piece of information. A hidden truth. A realization that completely shifted their perspective. The moment they discovered it, they became quiet. They stopped. They reflected. They reconsidered everything they thought they knew. What was this discovery? It was not a secret about your past. It was not gossip. It was not a rumor. It was the discovery of your character. The discovery of your heart. The discovery of who you truly are when nobody is watching. That realization affected them far more than they expected. Because genuine character is becoming increasingly rare. Authenticity is becoming increasingly rare. Sincerity is becoming increasingly rare. And when they recognized those qualities in you, something changed inside them. Do not skip. Because the next part of this message reveals why this situation is accelerating. There is momentum building. Events that once moved slowly are beginning to move faster. Questions that remained unanswered are approaching clarity. Doors that seemed closed are preparing to open. You may not see these changes yet. You may not feel them completely. But movement has already begun. The signs are subtle. The evidence is quiet. The process is unfolding behind the curtain. And that is why this message has appeared today. Not to create confusion. Not to create uncertainty. But to prepare you. To help you recognize that things are not as still as they appear. Something is developing. Something is approaching. Something is drawing closer. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most fascinating part is that this person is facing an internal struggle. Part of them wants to remain silent. Part of them wants to step forward. Part of them wants to continue observing. Part of them wants to reveal what they truly think. This inner conflict has become stronger with every passing day. Because the more they learn, the more difficult it becomes to ignore what they feel. And the more difficult it becomes to pretend that nothing is happening. That is why the coming period carries unusual importance. The next chapter has the potential to reveal things that have remained hidden for a very long time. A conversation. A realization. An unexpected moment. A surprising revelation. Any one of these could become the turning point. Do not skip. Because the identity of this person is becoming clearer. Every day they move closer to understanding what they truly want. Every day they move closer to recognizing what truly matters. Every day they move closer to a decision. And decisions have power. One decision can change an entire direction. One decision can open a completely different future. One decision can create opportunities that never existed before. This is why today is not ordinary. This is why this message matters. And this is why you must stay with me until the very end of this journey. Because what has remained hidden is not meant to stay hidden forever. What has remained uncertain is moving toward clarity. And what has remained unspoken is moving toward expression. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The story is only beginning. A remarkable truth is beginning to surface, my beloved child. What seemed hidden is no longer comfortable remaining hidden. What seemed distant is quietly moving closer. And what seemed impossible is beginning to reveal signs of life. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. There are moments in life when everything appears ordinary on the surface, yet beneath that surface an entirely different story is unfolding. This is one of those moments. While you have been focused on your responsibilities, your goals, your healing, and your future, another story has been developing in silence. A story connected to someone who never expected you to become important to them. What makes this revelation extraordinary is that it did not happen overnight. It happened through observation. It happened through reflection. It happened through realization. This person watched certain moments unfold. They noticed the way you responded when life became challenging. They noticed the way you continued forward when many people would have given up. They noticed the way you carried yourself even during moments when nobody was paying attention. Those observations became impossible to ignore. Do not skip. Because what happened next surprised even them. There came a moment when they found themselves speaking about you. Not once. Not accidentally. Not in passing. They found themselves mentioning your qualities, your presence, your character, and the impression you had left on them. The surprising part was not what they said. The surprising part was that they could not stop thinking about why they kept bringing you up. Again and again, your name returned to their thoughts. Again and again, your image appeared in their mind. Again and again, they found themselves wondering whether there was more to this connection than they first believed. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The title of this message speaks about an emergency, but not the kind people imagine. This is an emergency of realization. An emergency of awareness. An urgent moment when hidden truths can no longer remain ignored. Because there is something this person recently discovered. A discovery so unexpected that it completely shifted their perspective. They realized that the qualities they had been searching for in many places were quietly present in you. The honesty. The consistency. The authenticity. The calm strength. The ability to remain true to yourself. When that realization arrived, it changed the way they viewed everything. Suddenly old assumptions disappeared. Suddenly old doubts weakened. Suddenly possibilities they once ignored became impossible to overlook. Do not skip. Because the next revelation is even more powerful. There are times when people recognize value only after distance separates them from it. There are times when people understand importance only after reflection gives them clarity. And there are times when someone discovers that the person they were looking for was already standing much closer than they realized. This person is beginning to experience that realization. Every day new details connect together. Every day new understanding emerges. Every day another piece of the puzzle falls into place. And with every piece, the picture becomes clearer. Something huge is waiting for you. Stay till the end. You may have noticed unusual moments recently. Perhaps certain memories resurfaced unexpectedly. Perhaps certain thoughts appeared repeatedly. Perhaps certain feelings seemed impossible to explain. What if those moments were not random? What if they were signals that movement was already taking place? Because the truth is that significant changes often announce themselves quietly before they become visible. The biggest opportunities often begin as whispers. The most important realizations often begin as questions. And the most meaningful connections often begin before either person fully understands what is happening. This is why today's message matters. This is why you were meant to hear these words. And this is why you must keep listening carefully. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The identity of this person is becoming clearer than ever before. Not because someone revealed it. Not because someone forced it. But because their actions are beginning to reveal what their words have not yet expressed. People can hide thoughts. People can hide intentions. But eventually actions tell the truth. And the actions of this person are beginning to create a pattern. A pattern of attention. A pattern of curiosity. A pattern of increasing interest. A pattern that becomes harder and harder to deny. Even they are beginning to recognize it. Even they are beginning to see it. Even they are beginning to understand that this connection carries more meaning than they originally believed. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now listen carefully because this part is important. There was a moment recently when this person had an opportunity to move in a completely different direction. An opportunity to focus elsewhere. An opportunity to forget what they had noticed. An opportunity to continue pretending nothing was changing. Yet something unexpected happened. Instead of moving away, their attention returned. Instead of forgetting, they remembered. Instead of disconnecting, they became even more aware. That moment became a turning point. A silent turning point. A private turning point. A turning point nobody else fully understood. But it changed everything. Because after that moment, their perspective could never return to what it once was. Do not skip. Because the story is accelerating. There are certain moments in life that only make sense when viewed from the future. Moments that seem ordinary while they happen. Moments that appear small at first. Moments that nobody celebrates immediately. Yet later they are recognized as the beginning of something extraordinary. This may be one of those moments. The reason is simple. Awareness is growing. Understanding is expanding. Clarity is arriving. And once clarity arrives, change often follows. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As you listen right now, remember this. Not every important event begins with a dramatic announcement. Sometimes it begins with a realization inside someone's heart. Sometimes it begins with a shift inside someone's mind. Sometimes it begins when someone finally admits a truth they have been avoiding. That is exactly where this story stands today. A truth is being acknowledged. A realization is being accepted. A possibility is being considered. And every day that possibility grows stronger. The person connected to this message is no longer able to ignore what they have discovered. They are no longer able to dismiss what they have noticed. They are no longer able to convince themselves that nothing is happening. Because something is happening. Something meaningful. Something significant. Something that continues gaining momentum. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next chapter is closer than it appears. The next revelation is already approaching. The next piece of this mystery is preparing to reveal itself. And when it does, many things that once seemed confusing will suddenly make sense. The hidden observations. The unexplained attention. The recurring thoughts. The growing awareness. All of it is leading somewhere. All of it is moving toward clarity. All of it is part of a story that has not yet reached its most powerful moment. And that moment is closer than ever before. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Because the most surprising revelation has not been revealed yet. The story is only getting started. A quiet shift has already begun, my beloved child, and very few people can recognize it while it is happening. Most people wait for obvious signs. Most people wait for loud announcements. Most people wait until everything becomes impossible to miss. But the truth is that the most important moments often begin in silence. Stay till the end. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Right now, a hidden chapter is unfolding behind the scenes. The person connected to this message is experiencing something they did not expect. What started as curiosity has become reflection. What started as observation has become understanding. What started as a passing thought has become something that returns to their mind again and again. And the reason is simple. The more they learn, the more they realize there is something different about you. Not different in the way the world usually measures value. Different in a way that cannot be purchased. Different in a way that cannot be copied. Different in a way that leaves a lasting impression. This realization is growing stronger every day. Do not skip. Because what happened next changed everything. There was a moment recently when this person found themselves thinking about the future. Not the distant future. Not years from now. But the future that is beginning to form right in front of them. As they thought about it, something surprising happened. Your presence appeared in that vision. Your influence appeared in that vision. Your importance appeared in that vision. And suddenly they could not ignore the possibility that you were connected to a much larger story than they originally believed. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Many people never realize how powerful genuine energy can be. People notice authenticity. People notice consistency. People notice kindness. People notice strength. And even when they do not say it out loud, they remember it. This person remembers. They remember moments that seemed small. They remember details that others overlooked. They remember things you may have forgotten. That is why the title of this message carries such importance. Because an urgent realization is taking place. A realization that time should not be wasted ignoring what has become obvious. A realization that certain truths deserve attention. A realization that some opportunities should not remain hidden forever. Do not skip. Because another revelation is approaching. Something happened that this person never expected. They began comparing everyone they met to the impression you left behind. Without realizing it, they started measuring conversations against conversations they remembered with you. They started measuring character against qualities they recognized in you. They started measuring authenticity against the authenticity they observed in you. And each comparison led them back to the same conclusion. You stood out. You remained memorable. You remained significant. You remained impossible to forget. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Now listen carefully. This next part is important. There are moments when the universe seems to place people on parallel paths. Each person continues living their own life. Each person focuses on their own responsibilities. Each person follows their own journey. Yet somehow those paths continue moving closer. Not because anyone forced it. Not because anyone planned it. But because certain connections naturally move toward understanding. This is one of those moments. The distance between uncertainty and clarity is becoming smaller. The distance between questions and answers is becoming smaller. The distance between hidden feelings and open recognition is becoming smaller. That is why this message has appeared today. To remind you that not everything important is visible immediately. Some things reveal themselves step by step. Do not skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The person connected to this story recently experienced a moment of complete honesty. A moment when they stopped distracting themselves. A moment when they stopped making excuses. A moment when they stopped pretending. And during that moment they asked themselves a question. Why does this connection continue returning to my thoughts? Why does this person continue standing out? Why does this feeling continue growing instead of fading? The answer surprised them. Because every answer pointed back to one truth. You created an impact. An impact deeper than you realize. An impact stronger than they expected. An impact that continues influencing their perspective even now. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There is another detail that cannot be ignored. Recently, certain events have begun aligning in unexpected ways. Small coincidences. Unexpected reminders. Unplanned reflections. Unexpected conversations. Unexpected memories. Each one arriving at exactly the right moment. And every one of them seems to point toward the same conclusion. Something important is approaching. Something meaningful is developing. Something significant is preparing to reveal itself. Do not skip. Because the story is reaching a critical point. The identity of this person is no longer hidden from themselves. That is the surprising part. At first they were confused. Then they became curious. Then they became aware. Now they are becoming certain. Certain that what they noticed was real. Certain that what they felt was meaningful. Certain that ignoring it is no longer possible. And certainty changes people. Certainty inspires action. Certainty inspires decisions. Certainty inspires movement. That movement has already begun. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Imagine standing before a door that has remained closed for a very long time. Imagine noticing light appearing beneath that door. Imagine realizing that someone on the other side is slowly reaching for the handle. That is what this situation resembles. The door has not fully opened yet. But signs are appearing. Movement is happening. Progress is unfolding. And every day the moment grows closer. Do not skip. Because what comes next may be the most surprising revelation so far. The person connected to this message has started seeing you differently than before. Not because you changed. Not because you became someone new. But because they finally see what was there all along. Sometimes the greatest discoveries are not new discoveries at all. Sometimes they are simply recognitions of truths that were always present. That is exactly what is happening now. The truth was always there. The value was always there. The significance was always there. Now it is finally being recognized. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As this chapter continues unfolding, remember this. Not every important story announces itself immediately. Not every meaningful connection reveals itself instantly. Not every revelation arrives all at once. Sometimes the pieces arrive gradually. Sometimes the understanding grows slowly. Sometimes the truth reveals itself one layer at a time. That is why this journey is not over. That is why this message continues. That is why the next chapter carries even greater importance. Because the person who once watched quietly is reaching a point where silence becomes increasingly difficult. The person who once observed from a distance is reaching a point where understanding demands acknowledgement. The person who once questioned everything is reaching a point where certainty becomes stronger than doubt. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The most powerful revelation has still not been fully revealed. And what comes next will connect every piece of this story together.